Welcome back to another Educator Barnes book talk. So I recently finished the book, Social Justice Parenting: How to Raise Compassionate, Anti-Racist, Justice-Minded Kids in an Unjust World. And that book was written by Dr. Tracy Baxley. That's the book right there on my phone. This particular book, I purchased the ebook as well as the audiobook. And one of my favorite parts about purchasing the audiobook was learning that Dr. Baxley is the person reading the audiobook. And on top of that, what's even better is I was able to meet Dr. Baxley on Zoom because the school district I live in brought her in as a guest to facilitate a training for parents. And I was one of the two parents facilitators that facilitated the conversation. So I wanted to definitely talk about the book here because I think I want to hone in on a few key points for your consideration of potentially reading this book. The first thing I will say is that this book was written recently. She mentions George Floyd and some of the social justice activism that happens. And I think because the name of the book, Social Justice Parenting, it scares some people off. But I assert that the book could actually have a totally different title. Even though social justice and activism and advocacy is in the book is actually grounded in good parenting. There are chapters where she explains about, not being a helicopter parent, not overparenting, helping your kids advocate, not necessarily for a cause, but just within your own home, how parents need to heal their inner child that may be broken, which is perpetuating things that may have happened in their childhood, or it's the total opposite. You're trying to give your children all the things that you didn't have, and then that's not what your children really wanted, or you're ignoring who your children are going to be. And then she talks a lot about how to set goals as families, how to create a safe and brave environment in your home where your children can feel free to be their best selves and talk to you and communicate, and then how that type of rearing of children can translate out into the real world. One of the key points I'm just going to drop here on this book talk is that she talks about that her family follows the platinum rule, which is an elevation of the golden rule. We know that the golden rule is to treat people how they want to be treat other people the way you want to be treated. But when she says the platinum rule is treat people the way they want to be treated. See, I've been reading the book. I almost got the two mixed up. So golden rule, treat people the way you want to be treated. The platinum rule is to treat other people the way they want to be treated. And that could be hard for people because people feel that if somebody philosophically disagrees with them or from a different religion, a different background, a different culture, a different political belief, we feel that we can't honor the human and the humanity. But Dr. Baxley does an awesome job of helping parents work through that piece of, I can have my own values at home, but I can still teach my children to operate in the world with a sense of peace, advocacy, love, and what she says in her book, radical love. So if you're looking for a good parenting book, just to strengthen up your parenting skills, I recommend this book. And if you're also a parent who also wants to know how to get your family more involved in doing social justice work, check out this book. And she starts from baby steps all the way up to big steps, because participating in marches and boycotting is high level, and low level maybe doing something right there in your community just to help out your neighbors. So the book is written in a way where it's accessible to any parent regardless of their background. And Dr. Baxley has over 30 years of experience in childcare, education. She's a professor. So she has the right background, and she's a mom of 5 kids. And I believe it's 4 boys and 1 daughter. So not only does she has her intellectual background, but what I appreciate the most, especially when I got to interview her, was that the experiences that some of her work is rooted in is like lived experience, is not something she went and read in a book. She's telling you about her real life, and she's transparent in the book about not getting it right, because that's what happens as parents. Sometimes we don't get it right, but whenever you're listening to her audiobook, it just feels like you're just sitting there talking to a friend about, man, whew, messed up today, but look, it's always tomorrow. So if you're looking for another book, check out Social Justice Parenting by Dr. Tracy Baxley. Consider getting both the book and the audiobook. And stay tuned for my next book talk.